Hey now, what's happening out there? I see y'all out there. Rock with me, nation. It's your man D Real, and I'm not alone. That brother over there, that is Theo B. And on the far side, you might seen his name a whole bunch, but you ain't never really seen him. But you looking at him right now, that's the one and only, the OG, the double OG, Mr. Ray Smith in the building. What's cracking?
But that. Y'all give it up for Mr. If you sitting at home, give it up for Mr. Ray Smith.
Thank you.
Sitting at home, give it up for Mr. Ray Smith. I said what I was gonna do before we came on the line, so I'm gonna say it. Look here. When we talk about pantheon of greatness, when we talk about Black Panther writers and everything, and folks start talking about, we gonna talk about Reginald Hudlin and Christopher Priest and everything like that. I need y'all to know, as a Black Panther fan, the two individuals on both sides of me, right there. When we talk about Black Panther knowledge, Black Panther fandom, who know what they talking about? As far as I'm concerned, they up there with them. That's it. Because I was looking for folks. I've been looking for folks, and damn it, that's it. Them two right there. So what I'm gonna do today, by and large, I know y'all used to be talking. This won't be this episode. No, it won't. I'm going to do a large dose of shutting the hell up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Mr. Ray Smith. He older than me and D. So with however L you done heard D and I tell, he older than us. He got us. So with all the Black Panther, and I ain't just talking Black Panther knowledge, because actually that's doing him a huge disservice. All the comic book knowledge this man got. What I would like for us to do is just sit back, be open. Mr. Smith, first of all, can I ask you one question?
Absolutely.
Where you from? Where you from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland, Ohio.
OHIO Buckeyes national champions.
So I'm taking this, you're feeling pretty good. And I'm guessing in a few weeks,
Sarah
might be joining you on the celebrity stage as well, on the celebratory stage as well. But we ain't got that. We ain't talking about that. But anyway, you are would you consider yourself to be a comic book fan or a comic book historian? Which
both?
Oh, okay. And how long does your fandom go back?
It goes back to 1966. I started reading comics in 1966.
Damn, wait, I wasn't even born. I don't know if my mom and dad had met then. Like, damn, 1966. Lord, well, you know, wait, hold on. Did you say 1966?
No, yep.
You know, two things happened in 1966. Ironically enough, they kind of both got the same damn name. But could you tell me what two things happened in 1966?
Well, Black Panther was introduced. Hold on one second. Hold on. Talking about this?
Oh Lord Jesus! Wait a minute. Is that the book?
That's the book right there.
That's the book.
That thing that don't look like you just bought it. That look like it got some age on it now. It look like it got some age on it now. It look like
it's got some age on it.
Lord Jesus, can you open up the first? Can you just open up the first page for it, please? Can you do that for us? Could you do? Lord have mercy. See y'all, that ain't new. That ain't new. Look at that ink process. That ain't new. That ain't new.
No.
That ain't new.
Yeah.
So Mr. Smith, can I ask you one more question, and then I'm just gonna turn the floor over to you. You said Black Panther, the character, came out in 1966. What else came out in 1966? Ironically enough, to share the same damn name.
You talking about the group, the Black Panthers?
Oh Lord, geez, so we got the character and the organization in the same damn year. Oh wait, help me out now, cause you know I'm young. I'm the jit out of us now. I'm the jit. I need you and Daryl to help me out with this one here, y'all. I'm the jit. I'm the baby. I got Similac coming out my breath. Y'all don't smell it. Don't tell nobody. Majority wise, the Black Panther organization, was it mostly women or mostly men?
It was a lot of women in there.
Woo, Lord, wait a minute. Cause you saw we had some queens over there in the Black Panther party too.
Absolutely.
And you remember that as a heterosexual black man?
Absolutely.
Oh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. Oh, so cause you know they swear up and down you gonna give us some history later on and everything. So
Absolutely.
folks stop trying to label us as these misogynoids, making up damn fictitious days and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shut the hell up for the rest of the show. I know it's hard to believe. Mr. Ray
Okay.
Smith,
Okay.
between
Okay.
you and Daryl, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. But I'm gonna be brief because I'm gonna let him segue into what he's about to do. First, I just want to say, Brother Ray, thank you for coming.
Amen.
And to have a guest such as yourself on the show, for me it's an honor. Because I mean, just looking at the things you say and post and stuff like that, I know you got some wisdom. So and I like to kind of situate myself around wisdom, wherever it is, because you're gonna need to hear it, or sometimes you're gonna need to hear it whether you want to hear it or not.
Right.
So, and that's a good thing, because iron sharpens iron. But how old were you when you discovered the importance?
Hold on, Daryl. Before I do that, Mr. Ray Smith, my apologies. I forgot. And I need to mind my manners as a proper host. I promise I won't say nothing else after that. Can you please introduce to us the lovely young lady that I know is checking in on tonight's show on behalf of you? Could you please tell us who this young lady is and what she means to us? Watch this, as a culture, as a people.
She here, right there.
That's the lovely one. That's the love of my life right there. That's Miss Carrie Cotton. She's a seasoned attorney. She was with the Fortune 100 company. She was also in a group that a lot of people who are watching may have heard of, the Sounds of Blackness. She was a featured vocalist on songs like Optimistic and Spirit and Black Butterfly. But the most important thing, and what we were talking about yesterday, Theo, when we're going over this, the labels that people try to put on us as far as being misogynistic or misogynoir, as that writer put in there, is just, it doesn't fit. As she taught me, I don't do boxes. That's something she taught me. In fact, I preached a sermon last year. I don't do boxes. And the thing of it is, like I told her and like I told you, if you knew who she is and what she does, her whole thing is empowering women. She has a legacy. She has what's called A Woman Evolves. That's her brainchild. That's what she does. She wants women to evolve spiritually, emotionally, and economically. She tries to help them navigate the corporate ladder. So there's no way that a person like herself would be dating someone like me if I was a misogynist. So and that's why I always tell you, you have to be careful what you say about people if you don't know anything about them. And so tonight was a long time in the making, because as I told you guys before we came on live, when people attack the two of you, I take that personally, because I consider you guys my brothers. And I'm here to set the record straight for all of this nonsense that has been going on. And I want to give a history of what comics has meant to me and how it's shaped me. And before that, even just the history of some of the things that I've had to encounter and why Black love, Black imagery, and Black representation actually matters. And so when I hear people talking, they're basically talking out of ignorance. And I've told you this before, Theo, you can be blissfully ignorant or willfully stupid. And you can do something about the one, you can't do anything about the other. Because if someone's willfully stupid, no matter how much you try to educate them, they're not going to listen. And so that's where we are. And what we've always said, what you and Daryl have said, what you have put in your videos, you've always said, why do we have to have one or the other? Why does it have to be Shuri or T'Challa? Why can't it be both? You have Supergirl and Superman. You have Batwoman and Batman. You got Spider-Girl and Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Women do you have right now? There's a whole Spider-Verse. You know what? I'm starting to believe, like J. Jonah Jameson, there's too many Spider people. So the point is, the only people that have to have a and or are Black, African Americans. And there's a reason for that. And before I go off into everything else I wanted to get off into, what I wanted to talk about is why that is. And that's because what you are seeing and what you see on social media and what you see in the media is propaganda. All three of us here, we're in the military. And so, first of all, I want to salute you two for your service as well. I think Veterans Day is every day, because the freedoms that people enjoy, that's because of veterans.
Right now.
So I don't know if Juju's in here, but if you are here, brother, salute to you as well, Devil Dog. But
he'd be on the replay. He'd be on the replay.
But if you know about psyops, the psychological operations, and I looked that up because I wanted to make sure I got that right. So I want to read the definition as opposed, according to Google. PSYOPs is an abbreviation for psychological operations, which are military actions that aim to influence the beliefs and behaviors of individuals, groups, and governments. Now think about that. So now here we have this big media conglomerate that's trying to influence people's thought patterns, beliefs, and behaviors. And what people don't do is they don't do their own research. And that's where I call the people willfully stupid, because the two of you have put out so many videos, it's hard to keep count, over the last 4 going on 5 years, depicting and detailing everything there is to know about T'Challa as a character. And what we have to separate is Chadwick Boseman is not T'Challa. T'Challa is not Chadwick Boseman. He is an actor who portrayed a role. And if we are being honest, and the three of us are, he didn't depict T'Challa the way he's actually depicted in the comics. He did the best he could with the role he was given, but that's not T'Challa.
Nope.
And so my thing is, people will think that the Black Panther is my favorite movie since it's my favorite character, but it's not. My favorite movie is Enter the Dragon. And I could quote that movie left, right, upside down, and sideways. One of the, and you'll love this, the line where Jim Kelly's character William says, "Man, you come right out of the comic book." That's a great line. Yeah. That's a great line. And I had bought a T-shirt for my buddy. And it had that on his T-shirt, and I gave it to him, but he's since passed on. And what we're doing now, he and I used to do this every Monday and Tuesday. That's why the knowledge is still there.
Okay, that's what I know. You said something earlier about people don't really know who T'Challa is. That wasn't the real T'Challa, and it's a lot of misinformation out there. I feel the same way in regards to the actor. I think it's a lot of misinformation out there in regards to the actor that allow people.
There we go.
That influence people to be okay with a non-recasting in ways they wouldn't be with it in any other way. And I think it is very, very telling that in much the same way as right now, we're essentially missing out on the 616 T'Challa. I think we can say that. He hasn't been in a couple of issues since he went to the Meridian Theater or whatever. But then you have folks misspeaking on the character, but then you don't have the education in regards to who Chadwick Boseman as a man. And so and of course the family being private, being who they are and everything like that, they're not prone to come out unless you're going to go out to Urban Faith and listen to Derek or tune in to one of his sermons, you know what I'm saying, at his church in Tennessee, Yeah, I know that's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
How do I know where this dude is at? Right. Where you can go listen to, you don't get the true information either or. And as someone said it, it was E-Man said it. The quickest way to kill a man's legacy is to stop telling the story. And by and large, we're hitting and missing with both the character and actor. But please continue. Please continue.
And that's the thing, Theo. We have so many people who are practicing psychological warfare. Because what you do with psychological warfare is you want to sap the will of your opponent to fight. And so you want to win the war before you even fire a shot. And you want to make people question why they're fighting in the first place. And so that negates a lot of the effectiveness of the fighting force you're coming up against. So you've already won half the battle just by putting out propaganda. And so many people have fallen into the trap of the propaganda that Marvel has set out. They've never done the investigation that is necessary to find out who Chadwick Boseman was as a man. First and foremost, forget the actor part, who he was as a man. There's no way if you do the research about who that individual was, you would come out and say, I'm on the right side of history, saying that they should not recast the role. Because you should never, and see, the only thing that they have, the anti-recasters have, are their feelings. That's all they have. And so they're still in their feelings. And let me say this, and we've said this before, if you are still grieving someone you've never met, going on 5 years after his passing, you need to seek professional help.
That part.
You just need to seek professional help because you never met them, and you should never outgrieve the family.
Here's what I'm going to add to that. You got to know that's what's going on. And some of us have talked about is certain things we can't watch that Chadwick Boseman did since he's passed on. I know I can't watch Ma Mabley's Black Bottom. I just can't. You got to be aware that that's what it is. Like, you can't blame everybody for that. You can't hold everybody accountable for that. You got to know, like, because I never met him, as somebody was all too quick to remind me.
Yeah, we know who that was.
I never met him. So you got to own that. You got to own and know, okay, I am grieving tremendously, rightfully so, wrongfully so. Some people still grieving Aaliyah, some people still grieving Tupac. But you got to be aware that's you. That's not anybody else. And then that ain't necessarily normal because you did not meet the person. So,
and the problem, like I said, is you can't outgrieve the family. The family came out 2 days, as you pointed out, Theo, and you were the one that pointed this. I had never seen that video from Urban Faith until you showed it. 2 days before, Kevin Feige took to the stage on December 10th, 2020, and said, out of respect and to honor the family, the role of T'Challa will not be recast in the 616. Well, first of all, that's not 616. 616 was the comics. Let's get that out the way. But 2 days before that, on December 8th, Chadwick Boseman's brother on Urban Faith, which people can still go and see, said that Chadwick would want the role recast and that the family wants the role recast. That's the end of the discussion. You don't have anything else. You can't say anything else as an anti-recaster because you can't outgrieve the family. That is in poor taste. And let me give you a historical. I'm going off on this tangent because I promise you all this will make sense. All this, I'm a practice preacher. All this is gonna make sense, I tell you. But if you know anything about the Bible, and whether you believe in the Bible or not, whoever's watching, treat it as a fantasy. If you don't believe it, treat it as a mythical book. It doesn't matter because the Bible is not the issue. The issue is this. Hey, Keita, the issue is this. During the biblical times, when everybody knows the story of Lazarus, and Jesus rose Lazarus from the dead, but before he went and called Lazarus forth, there was a big entourage of people who were wailing and moaning and crying. Well, those are what are called professional mourners. They were paid to do that because it was in that culture. That's what they were paid. It was in good taste for these people to do that. What you have now The cast and crew are professional mourners. They are being paid by Marvel, by Disney, to go out there and project this image of, well, we can't see a world where we would ever do a movie with someone else playing the role. The only difference between the cast and crew and the Joe Blow off the street is they're getting paid to more. They're getting paid to say what they're saying. These other people are just ignorant. They're following the propaganda and they're not doing the due diligence. And see, that's where we have to stop and put a pause and call time out and throw, like you always do, Theo, throw a flag on the play. We need to educate people and let them know all you're doing is perpetuating something that Chadwick Boseman himself, even with a cursory examination of plenty of interviews that are available readily on YouTube, you would see that's not what he was about. I mean, you know, you talk about how you vet people and you have questions. One of my questions to people is talk to me about 21 Bridges. And I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to give out the reason why I asked that question. You already know, Theo. You already know, D. You know why I'm asking that question. So if you can't properly answer that question, I'm not having a conversation with you. Because it tells me you know absolutely nothing about the man. So if you don't know who he is, how are you actually honoring him? I'll give you this example. And I think I told you this, Theo. If someone, God forbid, in your family passes away, and before they pass away, they give you instructions on how they want to be treated. They want to be interred at a certain place by this tree, you know, on the hill. And when they pass, you say, I'm going to cremate them. Are you honoring their wishes? That's not honoring them. That's dishonoring them. And that's what the people have been doing. They are dishonoring this man's legacy by saying no one can play this role. Well, I'm sorry, but for those who don't know, Chadwick Boseman originated the role Reggie Montgomery on All My Children. He did not want to play it as a stereotype. So once he originated the role, they said, you're doing a great job. You know, if you have any questions, we have an open door policy. Come in and talk to us about it, whatever you have. So he took him up on their offer and he said, you know what? Where's his father? We're going to get into that father thing in a minute, Theo. But he asked, where's his father? Well, obviously he left. Okay, but where's his mother? Well, obviously she's on drugs. So now he's kind of frustrated. He say, okay, well, can we make him good at something? How about we make him good at math? I don't want to play him as a stereotype. Oh, we'll take it under advisement. We'll get back to you. They fired him. And the rest is history because the person that they replaced him with was Michael B. Jordan, one of the actors who said that Chadwick Boseman could not be replaced. No role could be recast that he's played. He did it. But people don't know this because they're willfully stupid.
I think it's interesting when you point that out because when you look at, you know, Chadwick was very particular about the roles. I think he said in the interview, there are 3 types of roles he wouldn't take. The I can't swim role, I can't drive role, I can't read role. And when you look at the characters, the roles that he took on in his career, vice the characters that Michael B. Jordan took on, they're distinctly different types of characters. They are, you know, for whatever reason, they've been highlighting Creed clips lately and everything like that. And, you know, of course, if you're a Rocky fan, you know, Apollo Creed, the whole way the relationship was written in regards to Apollo now being a baby daddy, somebody who, you know, cheated on his wife. And then when you look at the character that, you know, Jonathan Majors had to play, their I don't want to say stereotypical relationship, but we've seen that relationship before in Black cinematics, where somebody go to jail for somebody else and come back out and they be mad. And so it's interesting that you brought that up. I don't know if you were aware of that, if anybody that's watching was aware of it, but those two actors are very, the characters they played have been distinctly different.
And so what I was talking about with Enter the Dragon being one of my favorite, being my favorite movie, is because after Bruce Lee fights Sammo Hung in that opening scene, people don't know the guy that started martial law. He was in Ip Man, all of that. Well, after he fights him, he goes to talk to his teacher. And so the teacher is questioning him and, trying to make sure he's ready for the next adventure, whatever he's got to do next. And so after he has tested him, he says, remember, the enemy has only images and illusions behind which he hides his true motive. Break the image and you will destroy the enemy. Why am I saying that? Because that's what is going on and what has been prevalent with movies and with any media that you have seen since it began. Go back to Birth of a Nation. I bet you there's a lot of people who don't even know what that movie is. But that movie by D.W. Griffin, for those of you who keeping score at home, that's who D.W. was named after in Heroes for Hire, Luke Cage's first book, because he was running a movie theater. He was named after D.W. Griffin. D.W. Griffin made Birth of a Nation and made the Ku Klux Klan the heroes of that movie. So the imagery has always been there that Black men are a threat. They're violent. They need to be dealt with. And they don't want us to see ourselves in a particular light. If you go to that, and I encourage everybody who has not seen it, or if you have seen it, see it again. When Derek Bozeman said they did not like the response they got from that movie, he said, Black man is the king? No. Black man is getting killed in the street? Yeah. All these negative stereotypes they want to promote. How many Book of Power series and movies have we seen? How about Empire? Why do you think that is? They want us to only aspire to be something that is negative. Why? Because they know how to deal with you. No matter how many guns you have, they've got more.
Once again, it's telling that you say that because I've heard this before, Daryl, you helped me out. It took a minute for Disney to give us our first Black princess. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, Disney has as of yet to give you a Black king for any superior. Mm. T'Challa would have been it, but it's so much deletion, and we can't really say TJ is a Black prince because TJ ain't on the throne. So I'm just, when you're saying stuff that's making me sit back and I'm just going back and be like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, Disney has a history of Walt Disney was a racist. Let's just put it out there. Walt Disney was a flat out racist. He didn't hire his first African American until like the late 60s or so. And it was only one as an artist. So Walt Disney was a flat out racist. And so now they're just following in his footsteps. But that's just Hollywood in and of itself. Chadwick Boseman himself in interviews said, why is there always only one Black man at a time? But you have several of the others. You got Tom Cruise, you got Bradley Cooper, you got Brad Pitt. I mean, just you can list them. Chris Hemsworth now, Chris Pine, all of these, but they were
all these Chris's, so many Chris's.
Exactly. And then you have where they will say they told Chadwick he's going to be the next Denzel, and he was offended by that. So why can't I be Chadwick? He said, why can't we have our own Ocean's 11? So it's not by coincidence that they pit us against each other. It's not by coincidence that they've done the old tried and true strategy of divide and conquer. The worst enemy of Black unification are Black people.
Well,
you have those in the field and you have those in the house. That's the problem. And see, instead of putting aside differences, let me give you a story, a quick story. I got a lot of them, but I'm gonna give you this one real quick. This is what happened when I was in college, freshman year of college. You have the fraternities and the sororities. They have differences. Some of them don't get along, whatever. But my college had never elected a Black homecoming queen, never. So what the fraternities and sororities did, they said, you know what? We're going to set aside our differences. They came up with this on their own. We're going to set aside our differences. And what we're going to do is have a primary runoff before the official balloting for the homecoming queen. They said you can nominate whoever you want to. But when the final vote is tallied, whoever wins, that's who everybody, regardless of if you like this particular sorority or this particular person, doesn't matter. Everybody has to vote for that one person. And so that's what we did. And that one person won because all the Blacks came together. And so when people say, what do they talk about? What do we do? Protests don't work and coming together doesn't work. That's a lie. I'm a living example of that. It worked. They were so shocked. And Theo, you'll appreciate it. They were so shocked that she won. She was standing on the field. Normally they hand the football to the homecoming queen. They threw it at her. We were in a predominantly white community. It was a predominantly white institution. They didn't know what to do. And so that was freshman year. Junior year, we had a minority student, female, who was assaulted by one of those. And it was about to be a big race riot. And at this time, I was the vice president of the Black Student Alliance. And I had a female president. So no, I don't have a problem with the female being president, for those of you who are concerned. And so there was about to be a riot. So we called a meeting for the Black Student Alliance, and we got together and it was like, hold on, let us see what we can do. So the president, we had a private meeting, and she's like, what do you think we should do? And I said, we need to get somebody here that can speak to the racial tension. And so she had already made inroads. She had already done the research. This is before the internet. This is in 1982. So she was like, I'm thinking about reaching out to Coretta Scott King. I've already vetted it. It's going to take our entire budget. So we won't be able to do anything the rest of the year. We'd have to sell, dinners, do raffles, car wash, whatever, to raise money. So I told her, well, it'll be worth it, but we have to take it before the body. They have to approve it so they'll know what's going on with the money, and we didn't just take it. So we took it before the body. It was a unanimous vote. Everybody wanted it. So every Monday, we met with the deans of the school. And so that following Monday, we were able to raise our concerns. And as these folks do, they said, that's a great idea. We'll take care of everything. They wanted the credit for coming up with this idea. We said, no problem. Because not only do we get what we want, we get to keep our money. So when we went back and told the body, they were happy. And Miss King, she came, but before she walked into the building, they had the Secret Service come around, vet the place, and she spoke so eloquently. It was just amazing. And I'm a 19-year-old, and it's just amazing. I'm just floored. So afterwards, the young lady Tara and I, we're talking. We're like, well, we hope this landed on people. We hope it resonates with people. Next thing I know, the Secret Service was coming over to us and says, Miss King would like to speak to the officers of the Black Student Alliance. And so I got to meet her. I got to shake her hand. I got to be in the presence of someone who was changing the world. And she said, don't stop doing what you're doing. It's important. You're making a difference. And so let's spin this forward. That's why this stuff is important to me. Because I was giving, like you were giving marching orders by Derek Bozeman, Theo. I was giving marching orders by Coretta Scott King. How many people can say that? How many people can say they were in her presence and she wanted to meet them? She sent an invitation to meet them. It's not many people that can say that. So I find it difficult to accept that we have to settle for what others don't. I'm not into settling. You know, my motto is don't settle, because if you settle, you're going to end up paying twice for what you wanted in the first place. And so it may cost you a little bit more. And in this, it's going to cost you a little time, more energy, more effort, but it's going to be worth it. The payoff is going to be better in the long run than if you settle for something and not appreciate it because you're wondering, man, I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited. So that's where I am, that I'm not settling, man. I can't settle. And I wanted to go back to the whole father thing, because I don't think people pay attention when you well, the Rock With Me Nation does. We do. But others don't pay attention how that impacts you. Because coming from a home where your father wasn't there, you want to see that represented on the screen. And so you ask a legitimate question, where's Monica Rambeau's father? And then we have, I'm going to be nice, I'm going to be kind. We have someone else make a video mocking you about that. If you're a lurker in the chat, shame on you for doing that. You should be embarrassed because you were wrong. You were absolutely out of pocket on that one. You cannot tell someone what should be important to them. What's important to you does not have to be important to somebody else. Just because you like the Oklahoma Sooners doesn't mean I have to. Just because I like the Ohio State Buckeyes doesn't mean somebody up north has to like my team. But we can still come together for the common good if there's something that we need to change. But we're so divided, and we're allowing people to divide us that don't have our best interest at heart. And that's what we got to stop, man. We got to stop. So, I mean, I got more, but I got questions, what comments, what you guys got?
Well, I mean, I just think to your point, the education, you know, Daryl is always saying edutainment is his thing. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be that thing where the education part has got to be there. But as an ex of mine used to say, everybody plays a part. Mm-hmm. And so we can provide the water, got a lot of water, got a lot of water, but I can't make you drink it.
Patience is a virtue, not something that will hurt you. Actually, in real time, I was putting the comments up as people spoke, because they were speaking to direct points that you had made, or they were agreeing with specific points that you had made. So I don't think people will probably ask more questions, and I can put that up. Like, for instance, William Moloch says, Thurgood Marshall is the reason I was able to go to the college I attended, because he won a class action complaint against the college that opened the door for Black students.
That's awesome. I'm glad you were able to do that. But here's the thing. When you guys had Mr. Ayodele on, there was someone in the comments who was saying that I needed to wait. I think Kamoyo blocked him because after a while he made no more comments. And my thing is, how long am I supposed to wait? Because I'm coming with receipts. I got a receipt right here. I'm holding off on that. But how long am I supposed to wait? I want somebody to tell me in the comments how long they expect me. I'm in my 6th decade of life. I've lived through the civil rights movement. Listen, I was alive when John F. Kennedy got shot. How about that? I was alive when Martin Luther King was killed. I was alive when Malcolm X was killed. So how long am I supposed to wait for something others are getting without waiting? They're jumping to the front of the line.
After tonight, you won't ever have to ask that question again, because I'm probably gonna snap on the next person that say that. And the reason why I'm feeling like that is you started reading comic books in 1966.
Yes.
Folks can offer you excuses all day long why you never got a live action
that part
T'Challa, Black Panther, or animated cartoon, like not up under the an Avengers banner, no, a Black Panther cartoon. They could offer you all the excuses in the world, but they can't give you not one reason. So I don't want to hear that. If I hear that from somebody else, I'm probably gonna look up their IP address and it's gonna get real. So I don't want to hear that. And then on top of this, we're all impatient about certain things.
Yes.
We all want what we want when we want it. How in the hell, if what did I say? We started this show. I'm legit in this. I'm the one that's got Similac coming out of his mouth. I can't tell you a damn thing. I smell Johnson & Johnson baby powder coming up from under me. So I don't know how in the hell somebody that's in their 20s fix their mouth, fix their mind, their tongue, to even form the words to tell somebody older than them to wait on something that predates their young ass. Like you gotta be really in the ego gotta be big as hell.
It's an issue of respect.
Listen,
listen. That's all that is.
Get my bail money together, because I promise you on everything. The next time I hear somebody tell somebody, they can say it to me. I'm gonna let it slide if it's just me. But if I catch them saying it to somebody that I know older than me, all hell gonna break loose. Like, I mean, it's gonna go all the way left. It's gonna go so far left, I'm probably gonna wind up on the right. Like, I'm just that's my public service announcement right now going forward.
This right here, this comment
that right there, Professor.
Well, how long? That's the question. How long do you expect us to wait before we get something like a Wolverine?
Right.
Or something like a Superman or a Batman or something. Why do we have to wait? We got to keep. Meanwhile, this 11 billion Batman movie. I mean, I like Batman, but damn, I'm tired of seeing Batman. Stop showing Batman.
Let me help you out.
Somebody else a chance.
Let me help you out. And don't nobody say nothing about no damn Sam Wilson as no damn Captain America. Don't even say that. Don't say, because I know somebody gonna want it. Well, y'all got sitting over the hell we don't. We ain't get no damn say so in no damn Sam. We ain't even got the damn Sam we want in the damn comic books on the damn movie. So don't open up your mouth and say a damn thing about Sam Wilson. You know a damn thing about Sam Wilson. Shut up. Just shut the hell up.
And that movie got to do good for him to make another one.
The point that I'm making is we've been told to wait, and everybody gets to jump the line. And I don't know how much longer I have. You know, as you well know, both of you know, I was in a very serious car accident a few years ago. You know, and it was so serious, man. I'll tell you the truth, man. I'm spinning around in the middle of the freeway, and these trucks are passing me and just barely missing me by the grace of God. I took my hand off the wheel. I was like, I have no control over this. The outcome is going to be the outcome. And so at that point, I'm saying, why do I need to wait? For what? Why don't you tell others to wait? And to your point, Theo, and we've talked about it, and I've told you this, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Wolverine is their avatar. Wolverine is who they want to be. That's why they want this. That's why they want it. That's why I have a problem with Mr. Ayodele. I'm gonna get on him in a minute, but that's why they want that. They've been thirsting for that. They've been wanting that. And if people don't know, let me educate you on a little comic book history. When Wolverine was introduced, he was a throwaway character. Hold on, where is that book? Okay, here we go. Giant Size X-Men #1. Now he was introduced in Incredible Hulk 180. And then
no, bring that back on out. Bring that back on out. Bring that back on out. Bring that. Yeah, hold on, because
hey. You know what I did with mine?
What?
paid for this house.
Yeah, I heard that.
Next time you say something about comic books.
See, but what people don't realize is Wolverine was introduced as a throwaway character. In issue, I got it around here somewhere. When Thunderbird and Wolverine were in X-Men together, they decided one of them was going to die, and it was going to be Wolverine.
X-Men 97.
But John Byrne said, "Now he's Canadian, and so am I, so I want him to live, and we're going to kill off the native." That's not stereotypical where the minority gets killed.
Speaking of Wolverine, can I ask you a question? I'm asking
Sure.
both of y'all. I'm asking both of y'all because I'm slow. This is Friday night vibe. I'm vibing.
Right.
So I'm just asking y'all because I could be wrong, but talking about Wolverine, there's this thing in the Deadpool Wolverine movie where Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is traveling through time and he sees Logan in his brown and orange uniform and says, "Wait a minute, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time you run across the Hulk." And I wanted to throw a flag on the play because I'm like, whoa. That's not how I remember that. That's not how I remember that.
No.
He was actually in his blue and yellow and blue costume.
Yes.
With a whole
with the
whiskers, mask on.
And the mask was different.
Right.
Shorter,
so I don't know. See,
hang on.
Who?
Go get it, D.
Who in the hell? Why in the hell? What the hell? Because that was too damn easy. Like, I don't know why we said that in the movies, but now watch this. Right there. Now I got to sit up here and I'm gonna have somebody say to me, "Well, you know that's the first costume Wolverine." No, it's not.
You know where that comes from?
I don't give a damn what they said in the movie. That ain't what it was.
That actually they're conflating when Wolverine fought Spider-Man. That's the costume Wolverine had, because I can see it. I can see him on the cover. He had that brown and whatever color costume on. But to Dee's point, the action figure he just showed you is the costume that Wolverine had in Hulk. He was showcased at the end of Incredible Hulk number 180. That was his actual first appearance, not 181.
The last page was his splash page.
Exactly. Then in 181, he started to fight both of them, Wendigo and the Hulk.
Yep.
And then he tricked the Hulk into, saying, "Oh, I'm on your team. Let's both take down Wendigo together." And then he backstabbed the Hulk.
Can somebody please explain to me? We three OGs. I'm a jit. No, it's two OGs and a jit. That's what the show is tonight. Two OGs and a jit. I'm the jit. Can somebody tell me how that made it past editing? Like, who looked at the script and said, "Yeah, that's like."
Let me tell you real quick. You can just stop right there, Nate Moore. What did they tell you? What did Kevin Feige and Nate Moore tell you? They don't want to hire people who have comic book knowledge because that's a threat. So none of those people who were editing the script or had overall control of the script knew anything about anything that happened in the comics.
Now, can I say this? If they gonna get that wrong, and that's something that was easily correctable, just as easily as correcting them damn green boots that they got that new Jean Grey action figure with arm out protected. If they gonna get something like that wrong and not give two damns to fix it, why do folks keep asking me as a comic book fan / historian to believe in the MCU? Stop asking me that. Stop.
I can't until you get. I was telling somebody the other day, the three of us that's on here right now need to be running the MCU. That's just facts. And I'm not just saying that. It's because first of all, we care. We have the passion for it. Second of all, we have the knowledge. Third of all, we want everybody to win. Because you tell a great story.
And fourth of all, because I done spent a lot of money on
I got that one too.
And I need to start seeing a
return on my investment.
You say, wait. You ain't getting a return on your investment, big dog.
Not through the MCU.
Let me tell you something, Theo.
Damn, y'all ain't getting no return on my investment with them.
Let me tell y'all something. If people say, well, yeah, I've been collecting. Do you realize that the first volume of Avengers, my collecting started at issue 5. I have from issue 5 all the way to the end of the run. That's how far back. So I have the first appearance of the Black Panther in the Avengers.
52.
I have the visions.
Coincidentally, it was also Avengers 52.
50,
just like it was Fantastic Four
52.
I want to go back to what you said real quick, Daryl, because I ain't never heard nobody, because you said two things. One, Giant Size X-Men, one, pay for your house. Two, I don't think folks have ever looked at it from that vantage point, that folks that are complaining about what's going on with the MCU are folks that have invested a lot of money into Marvel and not getting no return on their investment.
And that's where I was
going. There action figures and books I didn't bought it. Oh hell no!
But that's where I was going with my Avengers analogy. It's the same with X-Men. It's the same with Spider-Man. It's the same with Black Panther. I mean, literally every Black Panther title that's come out is downstairs in my basement. You know, I also have when he guest starred in Daredevil. First time he guest starred in Daredevil. I think that was issue 52, if I'm not mistaken. Issue 52 of Daredevil.
I have it. I'm seeing it. It was 50 something. Because it was the art was by Barry Smith.
Right. And so that's something else that we're being deprived of, because everybody is loving how Charlie Cox is portraying Daredevil. People don't realize that Daredevil and Black Panther are tight. They're very tight.
Let me take you on the ride real quick. We got a reason to be mad, and I'm finna go with you and what Daryl's saying. I'm finna tie it up.
Oh, Mr. Smith, before you go, Mr. Smith, there's one of the many team.
I got that one too.
And fights.
Yes.
I'm finna tie it up into a nice little boat, and folks gonna love this one. So me, Mr. Smith, and Daryl, we all have Monica Rambeau action figures. Right. And I'm of the mindset that we all have Dr. Eve Ewing's 5-issue Photon run. Well, you know what? None of them action figures ain't worth no damn money. That 5-issue miniseries ain't worth no damn money. And do you know why? It's because of what the hell going on with the damn MCU in regards to the damn action, in regards to the superhero itself. Now, if you could do something with Monica Rambeau, bump her up to A-level status where everybody and their mama give a damn about her, then the action figures that we got of Monica Rambeau would be worth some damn money. The comic books that we got with Monica Rambeau would be worth some damn money. But as it stands right now, Darryl and Mr. Smith are absolutely damn right. We're not getting no return on our damn investment, so we got every right to be pissed right now.
But
hey,
go ahead, D.
If we are fans, you know what I'm saying? We are fans of the genre. All that we ask is that you show the love and respect and the care that genre reserves. When Harry Potter came out, I ain't a Potterhead, but by and large, they seem satisfied with most of it. Marvel comes out, I got all kinds of problems. But I'm like, okay, it's finally here. So I'm going to just be happy for it right now. But then, you know, after Endgame, nosedive. Just total and complete nosedive. And it's like, man, come on, y'all got to... I like Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is one of my favorite characters. Yes. I used to collect the Deadly Hands, Kung Fu, black and white, the big old black and white magazine.
Oh, we're going to get into that too.
You had to pay 75
cents for that one. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, and they don't show them characters the love that they deserve because they don't realize people like me are fans. People who I got the black and white, I got the comics, I got the cameo appearances. I love that character that much that I'm collecting comic books just that he's in. Yes, because I want to have all of his appearances, and they don't understand. It's folks like that. Like I don't collect Miles Morales Spider-Man, but you know what? T'Challa was in Miles Morales Spider-Man. So guess what? I was collecting Miles Morales Spider-Man. I don't collect Wolverine, but T'Challa was in it. Wolverine. So guess what? I'm collecting Wolverine.
Here's what I can say is the difference that I've seen. Like, if I just looked at what y'all do as collectors, because I want everybody to know that both of these guys are exceptional when it comes to customizing action figures. If you're looking at what I do, I do not hold a T or nothing to them. That's what they got going on. And yes, we are working on Star Panther. Star Panther is what we're working on and everything like that. But to y'all point, when we say we want all the characters, I think it's safe to say we could go in each other's homes, folks that come in our homes and see popular white characters as action figures. And even see minor white characters as action figures. If they're superheroes, they're superheroes and everything like that. I can be honest, when I look at people and they're doing their action figure collecting, if it's not a Luke Cage, Miles Morales, a Storm, or a Black Panther, that's it.
Yeah.
They ain't collecting nobody else. They ain't collecting for nobody else. They ain't checking for nobody else. So I don't want people thinking that, oh, well, y'all just want black. No, we want more black characters, not at the expense of white characters. No, we just want more black characters. We want more black action figures. We ain't saying you gotta, if you put out a role,
you making me make my own.
We're making our own.
We're making our own. But to your point,
why am I sitting up here making 3D Man? That don't make no damn sense. Right. How long did that been around?
But here's the point. The reason why we want that, and let's bring it back to Chadwick Boseman and the reason why he was doing the things that he was doing was because we want more actors of color to get paid, not less. We want more roles to open up because it's past time. There's no way in the world you can tell me that there are not more gifted black actors and actresses out there that should be getting roles and they're being passed over. I was reading before I came on, I was reading an interview with Jim Owsley, and he was talking about how, and a lot of people they're saying, who is that? I'll tell you in a minute. He was talking about his time at Marvel and DC and how he was not treated the way he should have been treated. And it was because of race. And the things that they wanted him to do was because of race. Jim Owsley is Christopher Priest, for those of you who don't know. The seminal guy, the one that we look up to that relaunched and reintroduced T'Challa back to the mainstream of comic book fandom. I saw it yesterday. I've been trying to find that article. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys, because I was doing some research for this live. Right around when they changed the Black Panther and Christopher Priest run, when it became Casper Cole, he had got a mandate from the higher ups to change direction because the sales were dropping. They were talking about taking T'Challa and making him a villain. Now, imagine that. At what point do you think they would have ever had a conversation centered around making Batman a villain? I mean, ongoing.
Not the prime Batman, no.
No, I'm talking about, but an ongoing villain. The primary universe. And see, these are the things, this is the level of disrespect that our characters get, not only in the comics, but also on cinema and on TV. And so we have to stand up and tell them this is no longer acceptable. We're no longer going to, and how do we do that? Well, with our money. Okay, you want to do that? You go ahead and see how that works for you. Because me, like you always say, we have Wakanda in our house.
Exactly.
Wonder Man.
But Boss is giving us Wonder Man. We supposed to be happy and big.
Exactly. And why are we race swapping? Why are we taking Fastos? And a lot of you probably who's watching this probably don't know. Fastos was the first cosmically powered black man in comics, at least in Marvel. He was the first cosmically powered. But what did they do to him? Now you had all these Eternals who were out there fighting the Deviants and everybody else. What did they do to Fastos? They made him a pacifist. They didn't want a black man with that power being shown beating up people. So they made him a pacifist. And in the movies, they made him gay. Nothing wrong with the LGBTQ community. We don't discriminate. But why would you do that?
Can you please educate the people because you were telling me something a while ago about the
Mhm.
makeup, the demographic makeup of the Eternals. Could you please give us that makeup, please?
It's diverse. You have several from the LGBTQ community. You have Fastos. You could have done that movie better. But what you should have done was Alpha Flight. That's what the movie they should have done. Because I remember years ago in the 70s or 80s, somewhere around in there, my friend Daryl, God rest his soul, he's the one that told me that John Bobier was gay. Because I'm telling you, this guy, you think I know comics, this guy could put all three of us to shame together. He remembered everything. And he remembered a specific dialogue between North Star and his sister. And he had said something to the effect that this guy's face had bothered him or something. And she said, when did a pretty man's face ever bother you? And so that's when he deciphered that North Star was gay. It was never blatantly stated, but it was intimated that he was gay. You could do that story. I give you another one. Why didn't they put Taku in the Black Panther movie?
Because him gay.
But you keep putting gay people in the movies. You already have it. Taku was the chief communications officer. What they did with Taku and Wakabi and T'Challa was they took and they looked at Star Trek and they saw that triumvirate. They saw the three people who were there, Kirk, Spock, and Bones, and they said, we want that. So they gave you Taku, they gave you T'Challa, and they gave you Wakabi. That was their three. Taku was always gay. He was always gay. You could have put him in the movie. Nobody would have batted an eye because that's what's in the source material. You don't have to keep turning people a certain way. You don't have to keep race swapping. You don't have to keep gender bending. You don't have to keep doing none of this stuff because it's already there. All you have to do is stick to the source material. And all of these characters, all of these people that you want to bring on, all of these diversity hires you want to make is right there in the source material. You don't have to change anything. But the problem is they keep listening to people that they shouldn't listen to instead of people that actually have passion and knowledge of the characters and how it would make sense. So they're going to keep losing money. They're going to keep hemorrhaging money. And well, I don't feel sorry for them.
They're going to have to make a decision here shortly because they know they didn't lost. Well, you know, when they say protests and boycotts don't work, well, I guess they do because Marvel know they lost half the black fan base. So
right.
And ain't allowing Hasbro to put out a single black action figure in the year 2025. Not even for Black History Month. Not even for Juneteenth.
How, Sway?
Well, you know what? I will say this.
You know how.
I will say this. Now, I'm not explaining anything. I'm just going to tell you. They ain't done that because I remember on Book Nice, one of the things he complained about was, I want to say he complained about that early last year, and I'm getting my years conflated because I remember the Power Man action figure coming out. Well, the Power Man action figure that came out, which nobody really cared for with the thing, whatever, he was asking why. Okay, it was that year. He was like, really, we're not getting no action figure for Black History Month. And so I want to say that was 2023. And so
exactly, Paul.
I don't think we got a action figure for 2024 either. So it's one of those things, but here's the thing. Boog is the closest person we got to interacting with the three guys from Hasbro. Now, my thing is, and I've always kind of questioned this, okay, well, I see one white dude and I see two Asian dudes. Well, whether folks want to say it, folks want it to be what it is, the Asian dude is more likely to see himself in the white dude than he is to see me. It's just historically what that is. So when we start looking for black action figures to pop out, they got a go-to. They got an Aurora and they got a T'Challa. They got a Storm, they got a Black Panther. They don't know where else to go with this damn thing. And even if they do, they don't know how to get it right. They gave us Blue Marvel. And as I told y'all, he was not on the right physical body. I don't know how the hell he made it past quality control, but clearly nobody black was checking for the black action figure and nobody non-black was checking for the black action figure. I said all that to say this in regards to it. Hey, y'all, rock with me, nation. We trying to get our own toy company.
Exactly.
Damn all that. See, I just cut to the chase. We trying to get our own damn toy company. And no, I'm not trying to do no damn Kickstarter. Well, no, I want what Joey Valor got, Valorverse and everything like that. Now that's one damn dude. So I don't understand, because they're gonna laugh when I say that. I don't understand with all these damn billionaires black, we got 20 of them, and all these damn millionaires black, we got 200 of them. I'm not understanding. No, my bad, 2,000 of them. I'm not in America. I'm not understanding why we ain't got our own black damn toy company. What to do? But only you can do the things that I do. Yes, it's true. What the dude was rapping? What's his name? Kwame like damn toys. Kwame, where you at? Why you not talking about putting no damn toy company together, Kwame? You sitting up here collecting. Damn collecting. How about putting out your own stuff? How about putting out our stuff? Hit me up. Hit us up. Trying to do something.
Yeah, well, see, it goes to why we're here tonight is because they don't value us. And in that same interview, I'll send it to both of you. The same interview that I just looked at earlier, Christopher Priest was lamenting the fact that Marvel and mainly Marvel, they don't value the African American and Latino audience. They're missing out on $1 billion industry because they're not targeting them. They are staying stuck right where they are, targeting the same demographic that they've always targeted, and that's why they never promote. As a matter of fact, where is that? Where is it? Hold on.
He bringing receipts.
It's around here somewhere. Hold on. Wait a minute.
That's the knowledge right there. That's the knowledge right
there.
Hold
on. Oh, here we go.
Take time, boy.
How many issues did this guy get?
Man, what?
5. I got all 5 of them. They gave 5 issues. Here's the problem. How many people know where Bill Foster first appeared? Well, that would be in Avengers 32, I believe, or 36, one of them two. So how long ago was that?
32.
So how long ago was that?
65.
That was in the 6th, right? So then they decided to, and I'm going off on this tangent because I'm trying to make a point here of how they disrespect, especially the black men. They decided to kill Black Goliath off in Civil War using a clone Thor, white Aryan, blonde, blue eye. He was killed. Now, what set off Civil War was the New Warriors needed to get money, so they took the role on
reality TV show because Dwayne Taylor was out of money. Well, let's rewind. Let's go back into the history. And this is real important why I remember this one, because in issue 18 of Night Thrasher, cover date January, see how I did that? Night Thrasher rescued some Wakandan ambassadors from a hostage situation. Black Panther, T'Challa shows up at the end. He owes him a favor. There's no way T'Challa doesn't know Night Thrasher is in need of money. He knows everything. So to repay the debt, he gonna slide him some cash. Civil War should have never happened, not with the New Warriors. Should have never happened. It should have been the Great Lakes Avengers. Because look at it this way. Mr. Immortal is always taking risks because he can't die. He's a little crazy. Yeah.
They were funded by Big Bertha, a fashion model. I used to be a model. Gigs don't come around all that. You hear one day and the next day they're looking to replace you with somebody younger. So
that's everything.
exactly. So that should have been the impetus for Civil War. Plus, they were using the name Avengers without authorization. So it would have made more sense for it to be the Great Lakes Avengers who caused Civil War. Then you wouldn't have had to kill another black man, Night Thrasher.
You know what I find ironic about it, and I apologize. I said I was gonna be quiet, but you're making so many points, and I just want to take those points and expand upon them for our audience tonight. When you talk about Bill Foster, one, Bill Foster is a beloved character by quite a few people. He crosses demographics and everything like that. And since that character, I don't know if those that's watching tonight know it, Daryl, you'll be able to test to this. That character has been demanded for, like, folks want that character to return.
Yes.
Well, for whatever reason, Marvel Comics, stay with me now, won't bring that character back from the dead, even though they could. But here's what they did do. They know there's enough interest in the character to put the character in the second Ant-Man movie. They know there's enough interest in the character to put the character in the second season of What If. They know there's enough interest in the character to even drop a 6-inch action figure on the character. Like, they knew every damn thing that everybody else knew. Well, no, I didn't. It's trash. Trash. It's worse than the Blue Marvel action figure. And the only reason why I'm saying it is because the Blue Marvel action figure is. But
why the two action figures patterned after black men got to be all messed up?
The reason
the
action figure doesn't come with an unmasked head sculpt. That's what I'm telling y'all in regards to the Bill Foster. It does not resemble anything that's comic book accurate. It is an action figure based solely off that What If episode. Yes. So he looked like a black version of Ant-Man, but you can't really tell he's black because they got a blue visor over his face.
But that's the point. What we're trying to do is we're trying to pull the coattail of people who keep talking about black representation and black love, black imagery doesn't matter. We're trying to let you know, yes, it does. And here's why. And because you want, like I said about the Enter the Dragon, images and illusions. We don't want those images and illusions anymore for the next generation coming up behind us. We don't want to put we don't want that glass ceiling anymore. We don't want to tell them that the only roles you can get are these. You can be a maid, you can be the help, you could be the comedic relief, but leading a $1 billion franchise, no. And so if they were completely convinced that Shuri was the right choice for Wakanda Forever, I still call it that, they would not be talking about putting T'Challa in that role right now. She would still carry forth that movie, which they could have done if, like you said, Theo, like you said, D-Real, if they had just followed the Doom War storyline, the Power storyline. All they had to do was do that. How many times have we seen on the stories where a character has been recast, and a lot of times they will do it through plastic surgery? They was in an accident and their face got all messed up, and now hold on.
Get a video.
I give you hold on. I give you one better. I give you one better. I was just watching an episode of Batman the other day, just for grins and giggles. It was Catwoman. It was Eartha Kitt. She was the third Catwoman. Did anybody have a problem?
No.
Identifying that was Catwoman?
No. Here's what so-called shooting fans missed out on with the way Ryan Coogler went about stuff and paying attention to Kevin Feige. What they missed out on was you were supposed to get Shuri fighting Dr. Doom. You missed out on it.
Yeah.
You didn't get that.
You didn't get that.
Forget anybody else. You didn't get Shuri. You didn't get Shuri really fighting Namor, not in no Black Panther armor, because she actually has Black Panther armor. You didn't get that. You didn't get Shuri going to the Savage Land, engaging with Kazar and Shayna. You didn't get that. No. You didn't get Shuri interacting, watch this, with Logan, Wolverine. You didn't get that. You were supposed to. You didn't get Shuri interacting with Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's a whole nother damn story. Right. You did not get Shuri interacting with Natalia, I guess, because they killed her off anyway. But you didn't get her interacting with Natalia, the Black Widow. You didn't get that. You didn't even get Shorty taking a slice out of Claw's backside, because that's part of that story too. You missed out on Claw actually bringing another hero, because we did not go back to, was the same music, was it Scream? We never went back and revisited Scream as a character after that particular storyline. So there's a superpowered female out there named Scream that has the same abilities as Claw, which would have been in Shorty's story, but you didn't get that because the folks who behind you kept kissing. You wanted to listen to them. We was trying to tell y'all. Oh, my bad. You also didn't get Shorty's take it on Proxima Midnight, putting hands on Proxima Midnight and the Black Order, not just having her ass kicked off no damn ledge and everything. And of course, you didn't get her ass degree either. You didn't get that because you wanted to listen to everybody else.
That's the problem. Because see, what they could have done, they could have promoted Letitia Wright as Shuri so much better, and people would have flocked to the movie. Every Black Panther fan, true Black Panther fan, would say, "Yep, that's what's happening. That's what's in the comics. That's what's canon." You could, and watch this. You again, we wouldn't have had to have either or. You could have put Shuri, because you just talked about Black Widow being knocked off and whatever, but you could have replaced Black Widow with Shuri and had the Lady Liberators. You could have made your own version of the Lady Liberators.
Wait, watch this.
Who's not watching that?
Oh, watch this. So we could have put a spin on this. Since folks like putting spins on stuff and everything like that. We could have had Shorty being a superhero in New York.
But that's where I'm going.
Because somebody else did do that. Her brother did it in the comics.
Right. But see, this is
and for those of you that don't know who the Lady Liberators are, they made their appearance in Avengers number 83, volume 1.
Yes.
I'm gonna drop that knowledge, y'all.
And so here's the thing. They could have done a better job of marketing that young lady. The role would not have to be taken from her, which is what they're getting ready to do right now. She could have made all this money, and they could have had T'Challa in a stasis chamber, bandaged until the 4th movie. And then that would explain why when he comes out, he's not the same as he was when he was in there. Because now he's more vicious, he's more calculating, and he's more ruthless. And he's going after the person who put him there in the first place. He's going after Doom. Because there's history. People don't know how much history there is between T'Challa and Doom. I wish I had brought those comics up there, but it was Kazar and Doom had a book together. And that was one of the first times T'Challa had to go against Doom. Doom was, again, he was trying to tunnel and get the vibranium.
Yeah.
And T'Challa had to stop him. So, I mean, there's so much to the stories that you could have incorporated. You would not have had to sideline this young lady, Letitia Wright. She could have kept going on in the role, growing and making it better. And to your point, they should have evolved her into the Griot Shuri, who has much better powers, much more interesting storyline that they could have incorporated. But because they don't know what they're doing and they don't know what to do with Black characters, they're spitballing and they're throwing stuff against the wall, and it's not sticking. It's not working. There you go, D. Steezel.
You know, I joke and laugh about, Feige's shortcomings and everything like that. But in all seriousness, when folks talk about, well, he didn't have a game plan after Infinity War, and I'm like, yes, you did have a game plan. You were gonna move ahead with the second group of Avengers. Carol and T'Challa were going to be running the team and everything like that. Okay, well, there's enough stories out there, because Daryl, you've alluded to this numerous of times. The first roster of Avengers we got in the MCU was not the actual first 5. That ain't what that was. Well, there are enough stories out there with featuring Carol and T'Challa and everything like that, where you could have spent their stories for not only their stories, but their supporting characters' stories for as well. To your point, we could have had Shorty still being developed as a character on her own. This would not be fake imagery, fake representation for Black women, for women. No, this would be meaningful representation, because those stories would be organic. Those stories would be authentic. And you're not making us as a people have to choose between the Black man and the Black woman, because you still get to see Shorty rise to greatness on her own. And her greatness does not have anything to do with T'Challa's greatness.
Nope.
Just when you put both of them together, now you have two great Black characters as opposed to having one. So it's, when you're saying stuff like that, I think it's very, very poignant. And I think we need to lock in on key moments and just realize exactly what you're saying. These stories being fleshed out, these characters being fleshed out, would lead to more jobs, longer term jobs for these Black actors, for Black crew members. But we can't get them to do that if we don't appreciate the stories that are in place. If we don't appreciate the stories in place, we can't make sure these actors have these extended jobs, they have these paychecks, that these crews get hired because they're Black. We cutting off our nose to spite our face, whether we realize it or not. So I just thank you.
And we got to stop being divided and allowing ourselves to be divided. There's two things I really want to talk about, and it kind of illustrates the point, because I remember in one of the lines we were talking, I was putting in the comments about Brian Michael Bendis and why I'm not a fan of his, and why I will never be a fan of his.
Speak on.
Brian Michael Bendis worked at the local newspaper. I worked there too. He also worked at this the local comic shop. Okay, and Brian Michael Bendis, he was writing some other things, but he really came to my notice when he wrote AKA Goldfish. It's a crime noir that's set in Cleveland. And so he's good when he's developing his own universe, his own stories. But because of his ego, what he wanted to do was put a stamp and an imprint on the comic genre that nobody could undo, and it would outlast him. So he wanted to have the first interracial marriage in comics. And so he said, okay, I'm going to use Luke Cage. Initially, he wanted to use Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. He said, oh, I'm going to use Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, put them together, no problem. And I have this article, I'm going to send it to both of you. He said, well, I can't use her because she's not talking the way the character is talking, the way I'm writing the story. Here's the problem with it. You're the writer. You control everything that comes on the page. That means you are a lousy writer if you have to change how the character is speaking in order to fit the narrative that you're trying to portray. So what I believe, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna phrase it this way. What I believe is that he was giving pushback. He didn't want to offend a certain demographic by taking one of their established characters and putting that person with a Black man. But if he creates his own character and puts them together, then it's not a problem for that other demographic. Doesn't care about the Black people. They don't care about. That's one of my favorite characters. He doesn't care. And so what I asked you this, and I'm going to throw this out to everybody on the line. And I asked you this yesterday, Theo. Give me one major storyline, one, where Jessica Jones has made a difference.
I'm gonna get up and go get me something to drink off that right there, because I can't. Because you did that yesterday, and it's the same thing that I told you then. I said I ain't got enough brain to commit to that right now, because I would be searching forever. So I'm just gonna get up and get me something to drink.
Okay.
Some cream soda. Darryl, you tell me, because I look up to y'all.
What I've read, Jessica Jones stories are only significant to Jessica Jones.
Yes. So she has not made any impact in the Marvel universe. The only thing she's really known for is being married to Luke Cage and having that child. That's it.
Yeah,
There's no
pretty much
impact that she's made. And so now
Gray says Alias. And
right.
like I said, Alias is just about her. Alias
That's it.
Is her dealing with her problem.
And the reason why Alias was created was because he wanted to introduce this character and then bring her to Luke Cage. He wanted to give you this sense that she had always been there. They retconned her appearance saying she was always a classmate of Peter Parker.
Yeah, I remember that.
When did that happen?
They put that in the show too.
Yeah, when did that happen? We missed it.
You know how they do it.
Right. So she has not been important at all. The only importance was so that he could put her in there to say that he was the first one to have an interracial marriage. They've done absolutely nothing with that. And now you don't have people writing Luke Cage because they don't want to deal with the baggage that comes with that. And on top of that, she was sleeping with that man at the same time. Oh, people forget that? They forgot that?
No.
They didn't know who the baby daddy was? Y'all forgot that? Y'all tell me, help me out in the chat. Who forgot that she was sleeping with that man and a couple of other people at the same time? She didn't know who her baby daddy was. But this is the person that Luke Cage is going to marry?
Nasty.
And show me where Luke Cage was, because Luke Cage was always in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
Claire Temple. He was dating a fashion model named Joy. Y'all don't remember that? Okay. Check it out. You don't take my word for it. But see, this is what I'm talking about. Then all of a sudden, they made him this whoremonger. He was sleeping with all of the single women in Marvel Comics. He was out there. But that was never his character. You didn't have a problem changing his character, but you couldn't change Jessica Drew's character. I'm having a problem with you, Brian Michael Bendis.
But to your point, it's one of them things where, because somebody will jump up to defend that relationship, but
sweetheart,
if we read comic books and everything like that, nobody gives two doggone. Oh no, I had to get me some soda, cherry coke. I had to.
Well,
yeah, there you go, Paul.
I'm finishing off vodka and cranberry.
Well, I mean, we listen. We
are vibing, but the point is, they have totally disrespected the black people. Where's Layla Taylor? Who is that? That's Falcon's first female.
I remember, and she was very strong-minded.
She worked for
proud to the people type.
Yes, she worked for the Daily Bugle.
Yep.
We don't have, and Theo, you've mentioned this. I believe you've mentioned it too, D. We don't have one single relationship between two heterosexual black people that has lasted as long as Sue and Reed that you see on a daily basis. I'll wait. Tell me.
I'll be honest with you. We ain't got no relationship, period. Because I know folks want to sit up here and say, "Nah, do not say nothing to me about no damn Prodigy," because Mr. Smith gonna sit up here and tell you Prodigy started off as a heterosexual.
He was a heterosexual.
So don't mention Prodigy. Yeah, that's a sore spot right there. But
yeah,
no, we don't have it. And I think that's one of the things. That's what I was saying. I was telling you, and I believe I told Daryl. At the very least, I know I said it on the live. We're not asking these questions.
Sure did, Gray.
We're not.
That's when he got his wings.
When he got his wings.
Yeah.
Captain America 171.
Questions when we're at the Comic Cons. When we had these people sitting up in front of us and everything like that, we doing these interviews. We had we're so happy to see them. We're just so glad they're on our podcast and everything like that. No, this is 2025. As Mr. Smith has alluded to, he didn't wait it too damn long. We should not be waiting for just common stuff. There's no reason You can get Black Love all day, every day, twice on Sunday over there in DC Comics. They don't care.
Yeah.
DC take you back with it. No, we got you right here. With Marvel, it's like, no problem. I know more about J. Jonah Jameson's family life than I do about Joe Robbie's. Why?
Right. Where's his wife? Where's his wife? Have you seen his wife?
Here we go. The only reason why I know Fastos is married to a white woman is because I'm old.
Right.
That's it. The only reason why I know Danielle Cage should be a damn teenager right now is because I'm old.
Right.
She ain't no damn baby. She been around for a damn minute. But we can see Franklin Ryan here. Franklin Richards then went. I ain't never seen it before in my life. That boy went from blonde hair and blue eyes to black hair with blue eyes. What in the hell? And they got another damn. And Valeria just got here and she a damn adolescent already. What is we doing?
How about
Meanwhile, over here, folks talking about I don't want to feel pressure to put T'Challa and Aurora together.
But that was my point, Theo. That was my point.
I'm breaking up Adam Brashear and Monica Rambeau just because.
Just because. But that was my point, Theo, because they didn't want to feel pressured to put a Storm and T'Challa together, but they felt pressured to make an interracial couple. Make that make sense. An interracial couple that you have done absolutely nothing with. An interracial, they told you that, and this is the lie that they tell you, that Storm was a damsel in distress. Clearly, they didn't read the Deadliest Man Alive, because she was going over there to help him when he didn't have his powers.
Sure
Clearly,
did.
you didn't read that storyline.
Sure did.
So I don't want to hear that part. But Jessica, the image that I have of Jessica Jones, the one that is in my brain, is during Civil War. She's having a conversation with Luke, and she's afraid, and she's biting her lip. That was the damsel in distress. You don't talk about that, though. You don't talk about that. So that's why I'm not a Brian Michael Bendis fan. I never will be. He did something deliberately just so he could have fame. He didn't do it for the right reasons. It's nothing wrong with interracial relationships. I don't care about that. But you did it just for fame.
Well, I don't think he got the fame that he wanted from that, because, like I said, Marvel Comics does nothing to highlight that relationship. By and large, Daryl and I both did a comic book review on what was it, Gang War? Luke Cage, Gang War, Daryl. And Jessica played.
It was horrible.
Other than just being the wife that reminded us that him and Danny were friends, because she just served that purpose to remind us that they were friends.
Right.
There was nothing loving about that relationship. Like you did not get that. You didn't get the Sue Reed thing.
No,
you didn't get the Sue Reed thing. You ain't get the Black Bolt Medusa thing. You ain't get that. You
don't get that, and that's why I'm going to segue to Mr. Ayodele. I'm gonna bring this home, I promise you. But that's why I want to segue with Mr. Ayodele, because he said that the character made a mistake when she slept with. Hold on, Mr. Ayodele, flag on the play. She already slept with him. Why she got to go back and sleep with him? Why? For what? She's on a journey for what? Why is sleeping with him going to help the journey? Mr. Ayodele, let me explain something to you, brother. For a very long time, I've been waiting for a consistent relationship. We thought we had it with Reginald Hudlin, with Storm and T'Challa. Thought we had it. But the powers that be didn't want them together. Because, again, their avatar is Wolverine. So their excuse was, well, she's a mutant, she's an X-Man, and he's an Avenger. They shouldn't be together. They just forcing them together. But you don't have anything to say about how Bendis forced Jessica Jones down our throat and forced her to be with Luke Cage. Those same people have no energy for that. Why? And so, Mr. Ayodele, you are putting Storm with another white character as if that's all that's in the world. You said it's going to have real world consequences. And this is what I told Theo yesterday, D-Real. I'm going to tell you today. He's got to issue 12. I'll give him 1 year. But he said that what she did is going to have real world consequences. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean she's going to get pregnant by Wolverine after a one night stand, after having been married to Black Panther and she didn't have a baby? Is that what the real world consequence is going to be? Does that mean that it's going to impact her and T'Challa's relationship to the point where they'll never get back together? Because that's the one person he told her, Mr. Ayodele, that's the one person he told her, anybody but him. Now, explain to me, Mr. Ayodele, I'm sure you have a mother. You might have sisters, aunts, female cousins. Which one of them with class will sleep with her sister's boyfriend?
Now let me contextualize that for you. Not that you need me to, but the reason why I feel the need to do it and everything like that is because I want everybody to be open to the questions that are being asked and why they're being asked. See, sometimes we'll get moved by the question that's being asked, maybe the volume in the manner in which it's asked, but we're not thinking about why it's asked.
Mm-hmm.
Over in our community in America, we're dealing with a disconnection right now between those that we look up to and those of us that are down here, those that we look to represent us in the highest fashion, and those of us right here. And so we definitely understand there's a difference in cultures between America and Africa. We understand that Africans have been through different trials and tribulations over there, just like we have been through different trials and tribulations over here. And so what I look at is this, and it's something that made me think about something, and I'll say it because I know he and I had a conversation away from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's coming in with his experiences. And I do not believe anybody has done the due diligence, because he seems to be someone who is open.
Mm-hmm.
No ego. I don't believe anybody has done the due diligence, and maybe it's because people feel jealous of him being given Storm's book. That is a list character. He coming in from here and he getting the book and everything like that. When I look at his previous writings of him writing characters, they're all Afrocentric, all very much African. I don't believe somebody, one of us, and when I say one of us, somebody that's Black and knowledgeable, sat down and had a conversation with the task that he was undertaking in regards to that particular character. Because I know he did say he was concerned, he was nervous about how the community might perceive him writing that character. But I don't believe anybody that looks like us, well, not looks like us, I don't believe anybody that's a Black American has sat down and just, hey man, let me tell you what it's like to be a Black American. Because what I'm getting from him, he's not writing Aurora from a Black American perspective. He's writing that from an African perspective, his perspective and everything like that. But Aurora, regardless of where she is fictionally, that's a Black character. It's created by Americans. You feel what I'm saying? So there's a perception you, I, Daryl, and I got in regards to her interaction with, let me just go ahead and say it like this, and I think that I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. There's going to be a trigger if someone on Aurora's level gets with any character that's not Black. It's gonna be a sore spot. If she does get with a character that's not Black, that character got to be up there, like King Regal or something like that. Can't be no Mongol or anything like that. So what we're looking at is, we see Aurora being too good for Logan. Both like, oh no. Ain't nobody trying to have no control over her life. It's levels to this. One, we would prefer her being with a Black man, period. Unapologetically so. I'm not gonna apologize for that. Whether that Black male be African or African American, it wanted to be a Black character. But if she's going to be with a non-Black character, that character got to be sitting up there somewhere, not down here. Not I live in the wild and I'm kicking the bobo with animals and everything. No. Not a savage. Not a savage. A prince, royalty. That's what we're looking for in regards to Aurora. So when people are saying, because I know folks gonna be like, oh, you said no. it's an expectation level in place with that character, no differently than what we have in regards to T'Challa. We would not want T'Challa with Emma Frost.
Well, here's the problem, Theo.
We would want T'Challa with Jessica.
But
no Jessica. Like,
the problem that I'm having is they speaking out of both sides of their mouth. One minute they're saying that Storm has class. She's a goddess. She's a queen. The next minute she's sleeping with everybody. And so again, I go back to this. There are females in this line. Please tell me if you've ever slept with your sister's boyfriend, because that's how close Jean and Storm are. They are sisters. And so for Storm to even entertain the idea of sleeping with Wolverine, it makes no sense.
None.
She's not going to do that. And
right.
Here, I'm about to help Mr. Ayodele. I told you I'm a solution type person. I'm about to help you out. To do this, you got to know comics. Issue 131 of the X-Men. On page 11, I'm about to help you out. Storm is getting tortured. She's been tortured. At the end of the book, you know who comes to rescue her? Jean Grey. Jean Grey comes to rescue Storm and gets her out of there. Issue 152. They have already body swapped. Emma's mind was in Storm's body. Storm's mind was in Emma's body. Easy solution, Mr. Ayodele. Because Emma and Storm really hate each other. They don't get along at all. It's not a stretch to say that there was a psychic imprint left in Storm's body after her mind was kicked out of Storm's body that makes Storm self-sabotage whenever she's happy. Now, when you use this story, because my story is much better than whatever the heck you got going on, Mr. Ayodele, I want writer credit.
Now, I will say
I want to be compensated.
That's actually been something done before. They actually did that with Gentle's ability. Gentle had been mentally shutting himself down. Hell, they said that with Scott. He was psychically dampening himself. They did that with Jean. Said that.
How about Onslaught? How did Onslaught get on the
right,
board?
So it is something that could be done. It absolutely is something that can be done. I just want folks understanding what it is at the end of the day. Because folks, the perception is where they want her, they want to no. And here's the thing. Because I see it on the message boards. The X-Men fan base, they don't really care who they characters sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't. Like they don't care.
Sick.
They want their characters to be sexually independent enough to sleep around
Mm-hmm.
with everybody. Like I've never seen anything like that before. So when folks start talking about, who feeling some type of way, no, in the X-Men, here we go. Logan has slept with Jean. Logan has slept with Scott. I know folks don't like that. Go back to the Age of Concord. Logan is bisexual. That means Scott bisexual.
I saw that in an article.
Yeah, that just
Somebody
is what that
that.
is. Okay, well, Jean participates in threesomes. Stay right there. Stay right there. Jean participates in threesomes. If that's what we're doing. Well, Emma giving it up to Scott, and I don't think it's safe to say Emma she giving it up to Scott, but she probably doing a well. Mystique is giving it up to Destiny, but she giving it up to Destiny in more ways than one.
But here's the problem: you could also make it to where Emma doesn't like Jean, and that's why she took Scott.
Hold on, Mr. Smith. I wasn't finished because I don't want these X-Men fans thinking they participate from a higher place of morality. You don't. Everybody knows damn good and well that Piotr Nikolaevich is a damn pedophile. We're not finna do that. He been smashing kitties since he was a damn child. So you ain't finna let y'all off with nothing like that. Hey, okay, here we go. Nightcrawler. Well, Margali Sarzo. low key, damn it, that's his his sister. So we don't want to do that either. Because her mama raised him and he got it in with her. So we not doing that either. Y'all ex-fans, y'all sick. Y'all sick. Logan is a hoe. Logan remind me of the song by Houdini. I'm a hoe. You know I'm a hoe. I rock 3 different free. Logan got kids strolled from Canada all the way to damn China. And ain't nobody said that dude need to be married to nobody yet. And I don't even want to talk about Professor.
I got a couple more points before we get off this live. A couple more points. You just
my bad. I got on a tangent because I don't want to think.
You reminded me of one. People, and when you were talking about when they broke up, Blue Marvel and Monica, and it was because they gave you the rationale that he was too old for her. I remember putting it in the comics, and somebody made a comment about it. But when Thor was dating Jane Foster for all that time, nobody had a problem with that. Thor is thousands of years old. Can we say that? He's thousands of years old. Jane is probably in her 30s. Y'all didn't have a problem with that. Why? Because they're white?
And we put that on the big screen too.
I'm not done. I'm not done. Wolverine is centuries old. You don't have a problem with him being with Storm? Or Jean? Or anybody else? Mariko? But you got a problem with the black couple being together because there's an age discrepancy. See, you can't be consistent. That's why I'm here, because I want to point out the hypocrisy of all of this nonsense. And why is it important to me? I want to read you something from 32 years ago. Dear Avengers West Coast, I would like to thank you for moving the Avengers West Coast team in a new direction. With the recent rise in comics costs and the lack of any real depth, I was forced to drop this title. Now, thanks to your creative team, I am back for a second term. I hear you plan to incorporate War Machine in this title. To that, I must say thank you. It is about time Jim Rose stepped out of Tony Stark's shadow and made a name for himself. I would like to see him get his own book in the future. I would like to echo the sentiment of Rick Concepcion and ask you to bring the new Captain Marvel to these pages. Of course, you would have to explain how before Galactic Storm, she had lost her original powers, gained new ones, and then returns during the Galactic Storm and has a semblance of her old ones. It would be nice to see her and Jim Rhodes have a relationship. I realize he is somewhat involved, and although I don't have anything against interracial relationships, you don't have any relationships in any of your major titles that have African Americans as their focus. Be a leader, not a follower in this, as you have been in all things. You know who wrote that 32 years ago? Me. So when somebody tells me to wait, for what? I've been waiting. See, Mr. Iadalia, I keep receipts, sir. I keep receipts. So I've been waiting for so long for somebody to do something about this injustice, and I'm tired of waiting, sir.
I think people need to hear that, though. And I think that was the thing, because, and that's why I said, I don't believe anybody has spoken to him. I don't believe anybody sat down and had a conversation, say, hey, man, because we talked about it before. There's no Dwayne McDuffie. No. He gone. And so there has been no one to pick up that torch, regardless of what race they are. Nobody has dared pick up that torch and say, hey, don't do this. Hey, that's not the right move. I would tweak it this way right here. And, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I was crazy. Damn, I think it's just one of the things where I'm more prone to like Marvel more than I like DC. But truth be told, if I'm gonna be truthful about it, DC did give me Ty Rock. I didn't like the way he looked, but you did give me Ty Rock. You know what I'm saying? Black Lightning been sitting right there for the damn longest time. And even though you gave me Black Vulcan on the Super Friends, you gave me Black somebody. You gave me Black somebody. John Stewart, you thought enough of me way back then to say, hey, I'm gonna make you a part of the Green Lantern Corps or the
yes.
Intergalactic Police Force.
Mm-hmm.
And you, but by and large, they've done what they could to keep John Stewart.
Let's not forget Nubia and Bumblebee.
Nubia and Bumblebee,
Mm-hmm.
especially Bumblebee, because I got to go all the way back to Titans West back in the day, way back in the day when Matt Hornblower was on that squad and everything. So I had that Black Love. You want to talk about it? So it's one of them things where, and I'm saying it because CB Sabowski, I hope you hear what I'm saying. While it's in me, my ingrained DNA to say I'm a Marvel fanboy, by and large, the folks that's been checking for me, it ain't Marvel, it's DC. Jefferson Pierce sitting up here right now. Me and Derek, it might only be a 5-issue miniseries, but we got the Shadow Cabinet. And we can't act like Milestone ain't tried to give us love through DC. You gave us Icon and Rocket. You feel what I'm saying?
I have that.
The reason I was talking to Theo about this, and people are like, why is he showing this book? It's called The Killer with My Name. That's Luke Cage Power Man number 21. This is the last thing I really wanted to talk about because it all incorporates on how the industry disrespects Black people. So in this issue, the original Power Man, who becomes Atlas in the Thunderbolts, he goes looking for Luke Cage because Luke Cage has now just changed his name to Power Man. He's like, you can't have that name. I'm going to fight you for it. And Luke Cage is not really feeling like fighting at the time, but in the midst of them fighting in the movie theater, remember I mentioned that earlier with DW running the movie theater, there was a little girl. And Luke Cage is like, hey man, let's chill out. Let's get this little girl out of here and we can settle our differences. He said, she don't matter. So then Luke Cage got mad. And as he got mad, he gave him a beat down. And so and I told you this because I remembered the dialogue. When did this book come out? It was 25 cents. So that's how long ago. 1974. 1974. So I remembered what Luke Cage said to him verbatim from 74. He said, after he clocked him, he said, you can call yourself Spider-Man. You can call yourself the Invisible Woman. You can stick a flag in your navel and call yourself the Spirit of 76. But if you ever call yourself Power Man again, I will come and tattoo that name on your rib cage. Then he looked to the crowd and he said, will someone mind repeating that to the gentleman in the orange and brown costume when he wakes up? Why is that relevant? Because right now we have a character in Marvel named Hobie Brown who no longer has his identity. He's no longer the Prowler. Why? Oh, we forgot that at some point when there was someone who usurped his identity before and committed a murder, Spider-Man, the Great White Knight, had to go fix that problem and get Hobie's costume back for him. That wasn't the first time. So we got a white knight that's going to go save this Black man's reputation. He's not going to do it himself. I guess people forget who Hobie Brown's brother is. I know D-Real knows. It's Abe Brown. Abe Brown will put hands on you. Honestly, he was the leader of the Sons of the Tiger.
Yep.
And I believe that he was patterned after Ron Van Cleef. You might want to Google who Ron Van Cleef is. Not so much Jim Kelly.
The Black Dragon.
I believe the Black Dragon. And so that guy he competed in the UFC at the age of 52. That's how thorough he was. Yes, that's how thorough he was. So he technically was the leader of the Sons of the Tiger. He's not going to go put hands on this new Prowler. Why are we treating Black characters so soft?
Mr. Smith, please tell them the relationship of the Sons of the Tiger, because it's a series getting ready to come out. So can you please tell them who the
Sons of the Tiger were 3 martial artists. The old joke: white man, black man, Chinese man.
Facts.
That's how it was. And basically, Abe Brown really was the leader. He was And so that's how you end up eventually getting the White Tiger, because they had some internal conflict. There was a love triangle. What was the guy? Was it Lu Sun? What was the guy's?
Tell them about the
Lin
amulet.
Soon.
Tell them about the amulet that was split in 3
And
different
so
ways.
they all wore an amulet. They had parts of an amulet. It was 3 parts to the jade amulet that the White Tiger now wears. And so they had to come together and recite an oath, almost like the Green Lantern Corps. And then their powers their abilities would get stronger. They would get stronger, faster, and better in their fight. But there was a love triangle that destroyed the group, and so they decided to throw their amulets away. At one point, Abe Brown became the Black Tiger, and so he was, that's in that Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. I told you we was gonna talk about that. The Black and White, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. He became the Black Tiger. And so he was doing his own thing. He would teach Hobie martial arts. Hobie is pretty good with it. He's not as good as his brother, but he's okay. He can put hands on you. So he's not going to go look for this guy, Miles' uncle, who's usurped his identity after it's already been usurped before, and he's had to get it back before, and Spider-Man had to get it back from him again on another. He's not looking for this dude. He's just gonna go and say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be the Hornet just because. That's not how that's gonna go. You just made him a punk. And so what I'm saying is we're tired of how you are portraying Black men, not only in the comics, but in the MCU. It's time that someone there stands up and says enough, because we're saying it. And I'm saying that to all of you who have an issue with D-Real and have an issue with Theo for pointing these discrepancies out, you are insane. Don't hate the player, improve your game. Go get the knowledge. What you should have done was had these 2 gentlemen on your lives. Here we go. The president doesn't know everything. We know this one don't. The president don't know everything. He's got advisors. He has subject matter experts alongside of him giving him advice. So if you're the leader of this movement, you should have had subject matter experts giving you advice, not just for the Black Panther, but for all of the Black representation, the Black imagery. And we're talking about the side characters, AKA Frank Rambo, because yes, he does matter. Because we're tired of the stereotypes of the absentee Black father. No, that Black father is right there. He's right there in the comics. And so when you can't have it both ways, when you say, well, it's okay for Shuri to be Black Panther because that's how it is in the comics. But it's not okay that Frank Rambo is not there because he is in the comics. It's okay to be Shuri to be the Black Panther because that's how it is in the comics. But it's also okay for Lamont Hoskins to get killed off because he's still alive and kicking in the comics. And how many times do we have to see the same trope of the white man having to go take revenge for the death of his Black friend? Go watch any movie from the 60s and before, and you see that trope repeated over and over and over again. And that's not what happened. John Walker's parents were killed in the comics. That's what sent him over the edge. Lamont Hoskins has the same abilities as John Walker. They were augmented by the power broker in the comics.
The same people who financed the unlimited class
wrestlers with Sharon Ventura, Miss Thing.
Formerly a Miss Marvel.
Formerly. So, yes, we know this. We are aficionados. We are the historians. We are the griots of Marvel Comics. And we're telling you we've had enough of you patting us on the head and sending us to bed like Cindy Lou Who from How to Drink Stole Christmas. But tired. And everybody, whether you like Theo, whether you like D-Real, whether you hate me, I don't really care. But at least you should be able to come to the realization that, you know what, they have a point. Let's all join forces and say, you know what, those black people, those black actors and those black actresses deserve to get paid. And they deserve to get paid the same thing that you're paying all these other white actors and actresses. That's why, let's bring this full circle. That's why Letitia Wright was elevated to be the Black Panther, because she was cheaper. She was a cheaper option. That's the facts. Chadwick wanted a pay increase. They didn't want to pay him. That's why May 18th, 2018, Nate Moore came out and said that Black Panther is a mantle. Anybody can wear it. Chadwick Boseman was still alive. They were in a pay dispute. That's why he didn't want to be on that Wakanda, whatever the heck it was, show on Disney Plus, because they weren't going to pay him what he was worth.
Nobody talks about that. Like, it's so much stuff out there, none of it's been refuted.
No,
like, that's the whole thing. Like, I didn't see folks sit down in front of folks and not get asked tough questions. And I'm like, so you're not gonna ask him?
Nope.
Damn.
That's the problem that I'm having. And then you have people like Anthony Mackie who's saying that nobody could play that role. Anthony, you auditioned for the role of T'Challa. You auditioned, you didn't get chosen. That's why you don't want anybody to take that role, because now it takes shine off of you as the lead black actor in the MCU.
Because we can only have one at a time.
We can only have one at a time. Let's stop the nonsense. People need to really do their investigation and understand who Chadwick Boseman was as a man. And there's no way you could come away from doing any real study of that man saying, you know what, he wouldn't want that role recast. There's no way you could do that. But that's when you are willfully stupid. You know you're wrong. You don't want to be proven wrong. There's a saying. It's one thing for people to think you're a fool. It's another thing to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
Yep.
And all of you anti-recasters have removed all doubt, because you don't have anything to say other than it's disrespectful. But the family has already told you that's a lie.
But they don't even keep that same energy for the recasting that's taking place on February 14th. They don't. They're not consistent with their.
You didn't say that. You didn't say that about William Hurt. And as far as Hollywood is concerned, William Hurt is a better actor than Chadwick Boseman. He's more honored. You didn't have anything to say when Hollywood did not give Chadwick Boseman a posthumous Oscar like they did Heath Ledger. Where were all of you folks who were talking about honoring Chadwick Boseman then? Where were you standing? Were you standing up and being counted?
No,
they gave Heath Ledger a posthumous Oscar. I'm sorry. He's not the greatest Joker I've ever seen. I'm sorry. He is not.
Jack sit right there.
Jack sit right there. If you really want to say, I'm going to look at Mark Hamill's version of the Joker on Batman the Animated Series.
I tell people all the time, that's my favorite Joker and that's my favorite Batman.
Come on.
You know, one of the things we talk about is, if you're going to be consistent, be consistent. Keep that same energy.
Keep the same energy.
What's good is what's good. Like, honestly, like, you know, as we started off the show tonight, I believe one of the biggest issues out there is too much misinformation in regards to both the character and the actor and the character.
Mm.
And that's a shame, because we're the ones that's participating in the misinformation. You know, to your point, when we talk about what we should be doing in regards to these other actors. It's not like we don't know. It's like, no, yeah, Heath Ledger. We saw Heath Ledger. Like, we're not finna do all that. Everything, it's not like you said anything tonight that folks can't research for themselves. Now, whether or not they like it or not is something totally, completely different. But at the end of the day, if we're not standing up for that, if we're not pressing for that, then we can't be disappointed with the outcome of the situation. We can't be surprised by it. If we say we want Black representation, Black love, that's an ongoing thing. It's not conditional or conditionally Black, as somebody said once said. No, you gotta own it, because the other side owning theirs. They ain't taking no break. What this big dude out here, all swole, NDO champ? I don't know if folks know what NDO stand for. No days off. Well, Black representation, Black imagery, Black love, and as of last Saturday, Black loyalty, because clearly we lacking on that. There are no days off with that. Like, that's 24/7. It ain't necessarily you trying to be popular. What you're trying to do is stay knowledgeable, stay informed, so you can keep other folks informed. That's it's called staying woke. See, stay woke. That's what that, not stay sleep, not be conditional, stay woke. That's 24/7.
So I want to, this is the last thing I want to say, unless something pops in my mind. But before we go off the line, I wanted to give another illustration of how long this is. I've been fighting these battles, as we all three have been in the military, and you'll understand. All of you two will understand this story probably better than most. But I was a supervisor. This was during Desert Storm. Okay, and they put this young man, young brother, up under my charge because he was a little rough around the edges. His brother, he wasn't bad, but he was a little wild. And I was AJ squared away. I was mad if you didn't give me 4 evals all the time. I was mad. I was that guy. So they put him under my care. And so one day, there was a weekend, he was knocking back a few brews, and somebody called him the N-word. You can about imagine how that went. He broke the guy's jaw. Let me just tell y'all that. Broke the guy's jaw. And so the base police came. There were witnesses to what was said. They had, empathy for him, but they got to do something. So they said, you know what? We're going to take you to the brig, and we're going to let you sleep it off. We're going to keep you for a couple of days. But you're not going to lose a strike. We're not really going to escalate this or nothing. And fighting, you could lose a strike. So, cool. He was okay with that. He went to the brig. Now, he was in my duty section, and we had duty that weekend. So he was supposed to be on duty. He called me, told me what happened, told me that he had contacted the quarterdeck. He said he may be let out. He didn't know when. But if he is, does he have to come to duty? He had the name, the rank, everything of who he spoke with. They told him no. If they let you out, stay in the barracks, sleep it off. It's okay. We understand. We don't want you around with those feelings. No, just sleep it off. He told me this story. I checked it out. It was true. So anyway, Saturday comes, and this other superior, where is Petty Officer so-and-so? He's UA. For those of you who don't know, we don't call AWOL, we call it unauthorized absence. He's UA. I'm writing him up. I got on the phone. I said, hey, man, so-and-so is getting ready to write you up. You need to be in uniform. You need to be over here ASAP. He said, okay. He ran over there after all of this, because I called him at 5 minutes to muster. He got over there. He was 5 minutes late. He was only 5 minutes late. That individual said, I'm still writing him up. He was late. So he looked at me. He was all, sad. He was like, I said, don't worry, I got this. Because what he didn't know, and what the person who decided to go over, because I was the one who's supposed to be taking muster. That was my job. That's my worker. What neither one of them knew was there was somebody who was still missing. And not only was he 5 minutes late, not only was he 10 minutes late, not only was he a half an hour late, this individual was an hour late. Walked right past that superior, was not in uniform. Now, you know, when you cross the quarter deck, you're supposed to be in uniform. He was not in uniform, and he was drunk on duty. Those was 3 strikes. Walked right past the same individual. They the same skin tone, obviously. That person didn't say anything to him. So I just looked at, I said, told you I got this. Not only did that individual do that Saturday, he did the exact same thing Sunday. So he was late an hour both days, out of uniform and drunk both days. I didn't let him touch anything. We were working on equipment that had the power of life and death in people's hands. Where we were, they didn't let black people work there because it was beyond our mental capabilities at this time. They didn't think, just like playing quarterback or playing safety or playing center in the NFL. So what I did was this is what I tell people, know your rights. You know this, Theo, you're a legal specialist. Know your rights. Wherever you work, know your rights. So I knew this. So what I did was I put in a request check for captain's mass. For those of you who don't know, that's like a courts martial. I requested
And a check is a piece of paper.
And you write up, you write out on a form what your desire is. And my desire was, I respectfully request captain's mass. That's a disciplinary review board. Nobody wants to go there. Nobody wants to go see the old man. So when that got around, people were frantic. Why does this AJ squared away individual wants to go see the captain? So what I did was, and what you have to know is you have to go through the chain of command. So you have to stop because they want to end it at the lowest level. They want to squash it at the lowest level. But what they didn't know is that I knew my rights, and I knew I had the right to tell them at every level, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the person above you. And once I say that, questioning has to stop. I did that. I kept doing that. And so they started getting nervous, like, what does he have? So at the end of the day, there was one person who doesn't look like us that I really respected. He was a superior officer. I really respected him. He didn't care what color you were. He didn't care. He was all about, listen, we got one job to do, fight the enemy. And so he asked me, he said, Smitty, what's this all about? So because it was him, I told him. I laid everything out. Witnesses, dates, times, everything. He knew I was thorough. He knew I keep receipts. I still to this day. And his face dropped. He said, what do you want? What can we do? What do you want? And so I told him X, Y, Z. One of the things that I told him, I said, from now on, that individual does not talk to anyone under my command. If he has a problem, he talks to me. He doesn't say anything about anything to nobody. That was one of my stipulations. There was a whole laundry list. I didn't go in there negotiating. I didn't go in there hemming and hawing. I didn't go in there settling. I went in there saying, this is what I want. If I don't get it, I'm going to the captain. And he said, you got it. What's the moral of the story? Then he asked me, he said, you still want to see the old man? I said, no. I said, because I know you're a man of integrity. I know you're going to give me what I told you that I want. Moral of the story. I've been fighting this racism since before a lot of you were even born. I've been holding this torch since before you guys got out of the crib. So to tell me to keep waiting, no. The moral of the story is don't settle. Have your demands ready and that it's non-negotiable. That's where we are as the Rock With Me Nation. That's why I am so adamant as I am today. It started with, well, it started before Coretta Scott King. I don't want to go into that story, but let's say it started there and it's continued on to this day. We cannot settle. It's time out for settling. We've settled far too long for far less than what we are owed. They still haven't paid us reparations yet. They paid everybody else. Do your research, everybody on this line. Do your research to see how many reparations they paid to everybody else. Japanese, Germans, everybody else.
That part.
I think Darryl,
and I'm done.
More than quite a few times on his live. When we said recast T'Challa, you might not have heard it. There was an or else.
Yeah. Or else. We keep telling you, or else.
Like I understand.
Hey, you getting they getting the or else right now.
Yeah, you getting you getting the or else right now.
They gonna feel the or else for many days to come.
Darryl told y'all, because I know what you heard. You heard recast T'Challa. We was trying to tell you there was an or else associated with it. And me, mine, I'm very detailed with my or else as Mr. Smith was. I need T'Challa recast in the 1999 universe. Yeah. Do away with the TJ child. Find another role for TJ. Find another role for that incredibly gifted young male actor. Find another role for him in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Go back and give me some because he that was a few years ago. He's 3 years older now. Now you can give me some young T'Challa stories with some young Aurora stories, so you can do some stuff like that. But to Darryl's point, the or else, I need my Chadwick Boseman biopic. That's non-negotiable. That's non-negotiable. So just recasting T'Challa is not what's gonna make me happy. No, I need you to finish the drill, like get past the goal line. I need the Boseman helicarrier, the Wakandan Boseman helicarrier, flying over Wakanda from now to the MCU. Like that better be flying. That better be a mainstay in the MCU, even when I'm gone off this earthly plane. It's non-negotiable. So just so we clear, the recast, the biopic, the Boseman helicarrier. I'm not accepting less. And also, when we do get T'Challa recast, what you're gonna do is right at the end of the movie, right there, when you give me all them credits, it's gonna say, in loving memory of Chadwick Aaron Boseman, you will always and forever be our T'Challa. Because he will be, because he was the first one that played it. Right there. I'm very, very specific. If I don't get that, that's the or else.
Right.
That's the or else, and it's non-negotiable.
And the scholarship to Howard University in Chadwick Boseman's name.
They have one.
Good. They do. Now, you know what I need them to do next? I need them to put Marvel Studios, rename those streets, Chad's Corner and Boseman Boulevard. That's what I need.
That's not a hard ask. And since he's so iconic, that should be real easy.
You want to honor the man?
There you go. There you go.
I'm just saying, we don't talk about it over here. Like we hold on. Let me see if I do it like this. Let me see. Yeah, we don't just talk about it over here. No.
We don't talk about it at all.
We ain't conditional over here.
No.
I don't want to say it's a way of life, but it's gonna show you gotta walk it like you talk it.
I'm done, fellas.
Look here, y'all. Mr. Smith, this has been everything I thought it was gonna be. You put the knowledge out there, you edutain, you understood the assignment, and you executed perfectly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brothers,
for joining us this evening. And thank y'all out there, the Rock With Me Nation, that come in constantly, continuously, faithfully, and rock with me and Theo. And that helps us to do the things that we need to do. So, Theo, you got something else you want to say before we let these people go about that?
All I got to say is, Mr. Smith, thank you so much for being who you are. Thank you so much for being open to sharing and everything like that. Thank you for continuing to be the man that you are. And congratulations once again. Yes. Miss Korea, and you have him smiling. So I like it. I like it when my elder is smiling and everything like that. So, man, just many blessings to you and yours, man. Just thank you so much, Mr. Smith. I really do appreciate you.
Anytime, fellas.
You've done. Yes, sir.
Anytime.
Hey, That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. You can catch Theo on his channel. He do a live every doggone day. Y'all be good. Be good to each other. Hey.